Hey guys, how's it going? It's me again. So I just wanted to. I have a haul, a bit of a strange haul. But I also wanted to give you an update on the cat because, as you can see, I don't know if it came through on the camera, but when I first got her, she like half of her fur was gone. Like she had no fur on her belly there. She had no fur along here. Sorry, Bessie. And she had ringworm, and she was underfed, and she was puny. But now she's ringworm free. She's tapeworm free. We were afraid she had a tapeworm for a while, but she doesn't. She's eating. She's growing. So she is a healthy cat, and she also got fixed. So yeah, she is a healthy cat now, and the shelter she was in was horrendous. Like, just completely unsanitary. Cats just shoved into cages. So many cats. Oh my god. And they weren't even taking new cats. And I suspect it's a kill shelter, so I think if I hadn't gotten her out of there soon, she would have been put down, because she'd been there for a long time. And she's a black cat, and people don't tend to adopt black cats. So yeah, anyway, the cat is doing well. And I'm so happy. Anyway, on to the haul. So this is a strange haul of books that I didn't mean to acquire, but acquired through various means. And so yeah, and it's also in two parts. I acquired these books in two distinct halves. But the first happened on Thursday. And so I was booking it across campus at my university from the building where I spend most of my time, which is where the psychology department is, to the main building where, like, the president of the university has his office and all that, because I work there 7 hours a week for an assistantship. And I was just booking it because I had 15 minutes to get there, and I almost always am like a minute late. And I got stopped by this monk from India. And at first I thought he was gonna, like, ask me for directions somewhere. He was new to campus, but no. He starts asking me if I know about the Krishna consciousness movement, and pulls out some books to give me. These books. So, and he also asked for a donation, and because I was just in a rush to, move on, get, to where I needed to be, when he asked for donations, I just kind of pulled out my wallet and pulled out the first dollar bill that was in there, and it was, of course, a $10 bill, so, yeah. Hopefully it's not a fraudulent society, but it's the Society for Krishna Consciousness, which was founded by this guy, who I need to read his name, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who was died in like the 70s, but he apparently wrote prolifically, and two of the books that are the ones that the guy gave me for free was The Perfection of Yoga. So this is just an introduction to doing yoga, and the monk also, before he let me go, had me recite something from this. It was like Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare Krishna, something like that. And yeah, so there's that tiny little thing. And then there's this book, Easy Journey to Other Planets. Let me read you the back of this one. Interplanetary travel is very tempting and exciting because the sky is filled with unlimited globes of varying qualities. The desire to travel to other planets can be fulfilled by the process of yoga, which serves as a means by which one can transfer oneself to whatever planet one likes, possibly to planets where life is not only eternal and blissful, but where there are multiple varieties of enjoyable energies. Anyone who can attain the freedom of the spiritual planets need never return to this miserable land of birth, old age, disease, and death. And also, in that last sentence, he doesn't use the Oxford comma. Yeah. Anyway, not a way to get on my good side, but, anyway. Interesting. All this money spent on astronauts, and we just needed to do yoga, apparently. But the last one is, the Bhagavad Gita as it is, which is this guy's translation of the Bhagavad Gita, one of the most important Hindu holy texts, and so it has in it, let me find a good page, so it'll have the Sanskrit on the top there, then it'll have a transliteration of each word, translated individually, and then in bold, his actual translation, and then a ton of commentary there. Yeah. This is like 600 plus pages, and to put the fact that this is 600 plus pages in perspective, my other translation of the Bhagavad Gita by Eknath Easwaran is not even 300 pages, because it doesn't have the commentary, it's just a verse translation of the whole thing. So yeah, I'm not sure I'll ever read any of these, but I felt like sharing it. And then my other acquisitions were also through a rather strange sequence of events. So, as I've mentioned, there's a used bookstore here in the town I live in, and I've gone there several times, obviously, and every time I've noticed this nice fat volume of the Oxford Book of Essays. So just famous essays by Montaigne, Emerson, probably Thoreau, maybe Edgar Allan Poe, just, big fat thing of essays, and I've been getting into reading more essays lately, and so yesterday on a whim I decided, well, I've seen it there like 5 times, so it must still be there. And then, of course, the one time I go there to grab it, buy it, and leave, it is not there. Someone must have bought it. So naturally, I consoled myself by buying 5 more books. So the first one I got was the Confessions of St Agustin, which had just newly arrived to the bookstore. It was pretty beaten up. I was kind of worried about this front cover, especially falling off, so I reinforced it with tape. So yeah, I've been wanting to read this for a while. I am very interested in religion and theology, so I think it'll be very interesting for that reason. And also, it did kind of come up indirectly during Steve Donahue's Western Canon Starter Kit as an important work that he didn't put on, just, I'm not sure what, just to keep things simple, but I've been wanting to read this anyway, so I figure, why not? And it was like, $1.25 there. So, yeah. Next is another Western Canon Starter Kit inspired purchase, which is Death in Venice and 7 Other Stories by Thomas Mann. I actually don't know what Death in Venice is about, but it was Steve's pick for 20th century books, one of Steve's picks for it. And and it has 7 other stories, so if it turns out I like Thomas Mann and want to explore his work a bit more, I can get into some other stories in this volume and spread out from there. They also had a copy of The Magic Mountain by Thomas Mann there. So if I read this and I feel inspired to read The Magic Mountain, which I know is a huge, difficult book, then I can go, hopefully it'll be there. Maybe it won't be like that, Oxford Book of Essays, but yeah, so Death in Venice. Next is the Metaphysical Poets, the Penguin Classics edition. It's quite nice. It's in very good condition, I think. These are just old poets from the 15 through 1700s who wrote on metaphysical themes of kind of religion and that sort of thing. But I've been reading some poetry by John Donne lately, and he's kind of one of the metaphysical poets. And there's a lot of poets in here that I like too, like Andrew Marvell and Henry Vaughan, and John Milton is in here too, George Herbert. So yeah, I'm excited to explore these more poems that explore really heavy themes like these do tend to be my favorite. So yeah. Next is a really cool find. It's a Johnson reader. So it's a selection of essays and letters and poems by Samuel Johnson, who is one of the most important literary critics in the history of Western literature. And so it has his poem on the vanity of human endeavors. It has some of his letters. It has his preface to Shakespeare, which will be great for me because as I haven't made a secret of, I am getting kind of obsessed with Shakespeare. And it has some essays about romances, some selected essays, some of his lives, his life of Milton, his life of Richard Savage, and his life of Thomas Gray, I believe. So yeah, and this is edited by E.L. McAdam and George Milne. So yeah, I will be very excited to read this, and it's pretty nice edition too. I mean, I love this cover. Yeah, and lastly, we have the Norton Anthology of Poetry. I thought that this was a great find, because these on Amazon, these sell for like something crazy like $40, and here I got it for $4. So this is awesome. Oh, yeah. The price on here says $7.50 actually, so I don't know if that's just because it's old, but this has all the major poets you would expect in English. It has, it has the anonymous lyrics from 13th and 14th century, has Shakespeare, of course, Milton, Andrew Marvell, John Donne, all the major ones, and goes right up to Sylvia Plath. Has Sylvia Plath at the very end, has Amiri Baraka at the end, has, D.H. Lawrence, T.S. Eliot, all the good ones, and yeah, so I will definitely be digging into this pretty soon. So, yeah, I'm excited about that. So, that is my haul, my rather strange haul. But thank you for watching, guys. Bye!